seeing from him? Just what led to you wanting to get him out of the game early in this one?
You know what? I thought the stuff was good coming in. I really did. I think that obviously you look to the Madrigal at bat, and I think it's 14, 15 pitches, and after the first inning, I just didn't feel comfortable getting him past the 40 pitch mark in one inning, and in that second inning he had one out. And then here comes Neto, and then here comes Trout, and I just felt right there to what end that I'm not going to put this guy in harm's way with stress. So obviously the bullpen had to take the toll today, the brunt of it, but with the off day I feel like we could reset. And again, I just didn't feel comfortable going out there, and I love the way that Emmett felt that there was more in the tank, but I'm just not. I wouldn't do that to any of our guys.
With the bullpen, what have you been seeing? It feels like there are obviously some guys who are there and been on track, but a few that, getting a couple runs tacked on here and there. What are you just seeing from that group at the moment?
I think that, Blake got paper cut today, and I think Alex, the leadoff walk, got him. And I think that it made him labor more, to walk Meckler, the first hitter he faced. We can't do that. I thought Hernandez was fine. I tried to extend him to kind of shorten the game, and then some of the ball, as he kind of got into the inning, his outing, the ball was up a little bit more, certainly to the Adele pitch. But there were some other C&I ground balls that got through. The Siri, the Madrigal ball. So that's going to happen. That's baseball. But I still feel like he's done a nice job in his role. I thought Jack threw the ball well. I thought Kyle threw the ball well. So, it's just I thought Henriquez threw the ball well also. So I think the bullpen's done a fine job.
Seemed pretty out of it early that the Siri had fouled off the ball early in the game. I know obviously it's not reviewable, but what explanation, if any, did you sort of get on?
Didn't get an explanation. It should be reviewable. That's something that, we got the hit by pitch reviewed when it initially wasn't implemented. It wasn't, and I just think that that changed the game. I mean, that changed the game, and obviously, the Madrigal check swing. I felt that he went, and those are things that could impact the game. And I know that they're talking about the replay with the check swing too. So those are things that could have that did impact the game.
I know you kind of touched on this, but with the off day, not just the off day tomorrow, but also kind of the length that you've been getting from your starters. How do you just kind of feel, I guess, about the bullpen, and how confident are you, I guess, that today won't kind of have any kind of lasting effects beyond this game?
I feel good. I feel confident. Obviously, we stayed away from Scott and Scott and Klein today with the off day. Then Blake will be back. A couple of the guys might be down, but yeah, I think that the starters have been giving us a lot of length, and we got Shohei going on Wednesday after Lauer, so I feel like with Lauer we can get some length out of him. We'll get length out of Shohei, so I really feel good about the starters going forward.
Will goes a neck thing again?
Yeah, it's a neck thing, and it's not something that's really, it's not anything that's serious, but it's something that is preventing him from playing. So as I sat here yesterday and felt confident that he was going to be in there today, it just didn't. It got a little bit better, but not enough to play. We've got the off day tomorrow, which you would think that it makes it better, but then there is travel. So, I guess for me, status for Tuesday, just TBD, and it's kind of a day-to-day thing.
Is there anything he's going to get looked at?
He did got scans on it, and nothing. We checked out. It was great. It was good.
Betts and Pages, those were just routine days off.
Yeah. Pages, it was 9 in a row, 4 days in Arizona on the turf, and I want to make sure I take care of him.
How much do you think those two long at-bats from Madrigal kind of had an impact?
It had a huge impact. 14 pitches, maybe 10 pitches. He walked, I think, 3 times today. Huge impact. And, that bottom half of the order, they were fouling off a lot of balls. We couldn't put those guys away. 6 through 9, I don't think we got those guys out today, So, the Madrigal at bats really was a difference today. It really was.
How much, obviously, like last season, I think you guys led the majors in bullpen innings pitched. This year, your guys are on the complete other side of it. When you kind of look at the season as a whole, how much do you think that's going to help kind of in the second half of the season? You know, because like last year, you guys went through that stretch where you guys had trouble closing out games. What do you think that'll help you guys avoid that?
I mean, obviously, if you get length out of your starters, that's always a good thing. I think so. For me, yeah, if we can kind of manage their innings, put them in their rightful lanes, I think that that's a benefit now and longer term. And it's all kind of contingent on the starters doing what they've been doing. So, and also when you look back and hopefully, you get Blake back at some point, you get, Tyler back at some point to keep adding that kind of stacking the deck with the starters, should make everybody else better. And also, we got some guys coming back in the pen too, Evan Phillips, namely at some point. So things are looking up.
Shohei, the 5 games, multi-hits plus 6 games. And so what do you think about his swing right now?
I think Shohei's, I think his body's feeling good. I think he's seeing the ball well. He's hitting the ball hard. He's just taking really good at-bats. So, yeah, when he's going well, it certainly, spurs the offense to score some runs because it seems like he's always on base. And it just makes life a lot better for us when Shohei's swinging the bat like that.
He's leading like the NL and OPS, and he moved up to first place yesterday. Is that kind of nuts to think about, given the fact that it doesn't really feel like he's really gotten going?
And I don't think he really has gotten going because I do think that the slug is going to start really coming, but he's hitting the ball hard, he's taking his walks, but, and he's obviously doing it on the mound, so it's just how special of a player Shohei